In the 1960s, a well-established department store owner called Dayton decided to experiment with a lower price model. They combined their high-end retail experience with a discount format, laying the groundwork for what would become the Target brand. This strategy eventually gave rise to the Target phenomenon, a specific cultural reputation where a budget-friendly store felt trendy and premium. It was a unique identity that made Target feel more like a destination than a chore. This timeline chart shows the scales of success at its absolute peak. By 2021, the company was operating in all 50 states and surpassed $100 billion in annual sales for the first time in its history. For decades, the company's real strength was its ability to manufacture a premium lifestyle identity, convincing consumers to spend money on aesthetics as much as utility. This chart shows how quickly that momentum reversed. By 2025, Target's stock value plummeted by 65% from its peak, representing a loss of nearly $90 billion in market value. The drop is particularly stark when compared to the broader retail landscape. While Target struggled, the rest of the market rose, and their biggest rival, Walmart, actually doubled in value over the same period. Internal moves suggest a company in high alarm. In early 2025, Target laid off 1,800 corporate employees and accepted the resignation of its CEO. Because the broader retail sector remains stable, the evidence points to a crisis specific to Target and the erosion of its Target identity. Target's business model leans heavily on discretionary spending. These are the wants rather than the needs, items that shoppers buy to treat themselves rather than just to stock the pantry. Looking at these pie charts, the vulnerability is clear. Groceries make up only 25% of Target's sales, compared to Walmart's 60%. When inflation rose, consumers cut back on non-essentials. Target's reliance on lifestyle products left their revenue struggling. Pricing pressures have only increased with recent tariffs. Target imports a higher percentage of non-grocery goods than Walmart's domestic grocery supply chain, so their costs are rising much faster. The cheap chic identity that powered their growth has become a trap in an economy where consumers can no longer prioritize vibes over basic necessities. Target's younger, left-leaning demographic informed the company's 2020 commitment to DEI initiatives and minority-owned businesses following the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. But the brand began to alienate that same base in 2023. Facing pressure over its Pride Month collection, leadership removed several LGBTQ-themed displays, sparking concerns that they were abandoning their stated values under pressure. In early 2025, following the inauguration of Donald Trump, the company abruptly ended many of those same DEI programs. The decision triggered an immediate and ongoing boycott from their traditional shoppers. By attempting to navigate a middle ground between opposing political factions, Target has managed to frustrate both, shattering the inclusive image they spent years cultivating. The Target illusion only works if the actual shopping experience is orderly and pleasant. This flow graphic illustrates a major shift in how the stores operate. To compete with online delivery, Target now uses its retail locations as fulfillment centers, with 96% of online orders being picked directly from the store shelves. Employees are often too busy acting as warehouse pickers to stock shelves or assist customers. The result is a physical environment that has become increasingly messy and frustrating for people shopping in person. The impact of this operational decline is already showing. Ulta Beauty has announced it will not renew its contract to operate many boutiques inside Target stores beyond 2026. Maintaining a premium reputation is a challenge when the physical stores increasingly resemble high-stress industrial shipping hubs rather than curated retail spaces. Navigating a crisis like this typically requires a new perspective. Instead, Target's board has consistently chosen to stick with the established internal team. In 2022, a board removed its mandatory retirement age to extend the contract of CEO Brian Cornell, even as his core initiatives began to backfire. His successor, Michael Fidelpi, is a 20-year company veteran who started as an intern. The stock price dropped the day he was announced, suggesting investors were hoping for an outside hire rather than another insider. This preference for internal promotions suggests the company is operating in an echo chamber, struggling to identify the systemic issues driving customers away. Today, Target is paralyzed between its history as a premium discount destination and the logistical mess of its current operations. This is the exact opposite of the Walmart model. Walmart has succeeded because it never strayed from its identity as a high-volume grocery provider, avoiding the brand confusion currently hurting its rival. A reputation that took 60 years to establish is currently being dismantled by just a few years of conflicting corporate strategies. A successful recovery depends on resolving the friction between their current logistical choices and the curated brand identity that made the store a destination in the first place.